Tiger Woods, Roy McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, and a host of other golfers on the PGA Tour have already transitioned into TaylorMade's newest driver, the Qi10 LS. But I think that this driver right here, the Qi10 Max, is definitely going to be the driver that you are going to want to put in your bag if you're a recreational golfer and a weekend player. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why. Now, the biggest challenge that most recreational golfers like you and I face is that we're going to miss fairways because, number one, our swing isn't all that efficient, and number two, we hit the ball basically all over the face. So what golf equipment manufacturers have been working really hard on is to try and create drivers that are more stable, that are going to protect ball speeds on mishits. They're going to try and hit straighter shots. So with the release of this club right here, the TaylorMade Qi10 Max, TaylorMade has basically gone to the max to try and provide the longest, straightest driver it has ever created. Now, what does QI stand for? It's actually quest for inertia. And the 10, as you may have guessed, is the number 10,000. So with the Qi10 Max, the company is touting the fact that this is the highest MOI driver it has ever created. It's the first driver from TaylorMade to ever have a total MOI over 10,000. So what the hell does a 10,000 MOI driver actually mean? Well, the USGA and the RNA want golf to be a game of skill. They want you to have to hit the center of the face. But golf equipment companies are clever. They know different techniques, different ways to make golf clubs that when you hit the ball out on the toe or here in the heel, they can make the ball go straight, nearly as straight as if you hit it in the center of the face. And that is basically making the golf club resist twisting on off-center hits. With what TaylorMade has done with the Qi10 Max is try and basically boost up the MOI, not just from side to side. Basically, they've neared the limit, which is 5,900 grams per centimeter square, but they've also boosted up the moment of inertia up and down here as well. And when you add those two numbers up, it goes over the number 10,000 for the very first time in TaylorMade's history. So more than any other TaylorMade driver before, this driver will make up for mishit shots in the face. If you hit the ball a little bit more on the toe, if you hit one over here in the heel, this driver will remain more stable. It will want to go straight through more than any other driver possible. That means you're going to get more ball speed protection. You're not going to lose as much distance. It means also that the ball is going to go straighter. So for recreational golfers, more opportunities to hit fairways, longer, straighter drives on your mishits. And let's face it, you're probably only going to hit the center of the face every so often. You're going to want all the ball speed protection you can get around the face. That's what the Qi10 Max is all about. So how did TaylorMade go about doing that? Well, number one, they made the carbon fiber crown even larger. It is now referred to as an infinity crown. As you may remember in some of the old TaylorMade drivers, there used to be a white stripe of titanium that was up here on the top. And that titanium on the top basically acted as a ledge where you would put the carbon fiber crown on top and it would rest on that ledge. Well, that ledge is basically right here on the seam now. So the carbon fiber crown is significantly larger, which means you have less weight on the top of the golf club and more discretionary weight that can be given to designers and engineers to enhance performance. It also makes the top of the golf club significantly lighter. The bottom of the golf club, this sole panel, is also carbon fiber. Again, a lighter material than the titanium that it replaces. So there's a significant amount of weight in the center of the golf club that has been taken out and given to designers. And in this case, to boost up the moment of inertia, the MOI, a lot of that weight has been driven into the back of the golf club here. Now, because this club is so large from front to back, when you put more weight into the back, it's going to really drive up the MOI. It's pulling the center of gravity farther back from the hitting area, which basically is going to make this golf club much more resistant to twisting on off-center hits. Because it's big and because it has so much weight in the back, that's what's boosting up the MOI. So while the Qi10 LS has a movable weight that's going to be found right behind the leading edge, there is not a movable weight that is going to be in the Qi10 Max. You're not going to be building in a draw or a fade bias. There is a little bit of a draw bias, but there is, again, no movable weight here. What you do have is, once again, a 60-layer carbon fiber face. Now, it does also have twist face so that the top portion of the toe area and the low portion of the heel area have been peeled back. It's a carryover technology that has been around for a while in TaylorMade drivers, and again, it is meant to help players hit straighter shots. TaylorMade's not calling it out in the Qi10 family, it's just simply putting the word carbon in here. And as you can also obviously see in the Qi10 Max, the carbon fiber face is now blue instead of red. It sounds like that was a request from tour players to make it a little bit more subtle. For the first few years of carbon fiber faces, they were obviously red. We had that in Stealth, we had that last season in Stealth 2. The word is out, obviously, at this point, that TaylorMade drivers are going to have a carbon face. So I think that going forward, we're probably going to have more muted colors, less sort of eye-grabbing colors when you're watching television. Everybody knows that TaylorMade is using carbon fiber in the face. There is an adjustable hosel mechanism on the bottom of the golf club that will allow you to increase or decrease the stated loft by about 2 degrees and adjust the lie angle. The small weight that you can see right here in the heel is not meant to be adjusted really by consumers. That is for fitting purposes. The weight itself can be made heavier or lighter to adjust the swing weight and the overall feel of the golf club itself. And as it has for several generations now, TaylorMade has added a speed pocket slot behind the leading edge of the golf club in the sole, and then covered it with a polyurethane, basically a polymer, to keep material from getting inside the head. By basically creating this slot, it helps the lower portion of the face flex more efficiently on low struck shots to also scrub off a little bit of spin. You're going to create your spinniest drives when you hit it low, and the speed pocket slot is meant to reduce that effect. So my thoughts on the TaylorMade Qi10 Max. I think that this is probably going to be the driver, as I said at the beginning of this video, that is going to be the most effective, probably the best performing driver for the vast majority of recreational golfers. If you are someone who hits it all over the face, and if you shoot, say, in the mid 80s and higher, and certainly in the 90s and the hundreds, you probably hit your drives all over the face. You may be fast, but you may not have the ability to strike the ball in the center of the face as often as you would like. And if that's the case, this driver, more than the Qi10 LS that you're going to see most of the pros using, this is the driver that probably will fit your game the most. Now, there is a standard Qi10 that is sort of lives right in between, because this driver is going to probably create the highest launch angle, a little bit more spin. But that is something working with a good custom fitter, depending on exactly what the shaft is and what the stated loft is and how you play with the loft and the different shafts, you'll be able to take this down quite a bit. I had an opportunity to go to South Carolina and get a fitting with a TaylorMade professional fitter and get myself into a Qi10 Max. And I got to tell you, my impressions were when you put the club down behind the golf ball, it's really big. The golf ball looks small when you put this down there. There is a TaylorMade chevron on the top of the crown near the top line to help you align up the golf ball, which is good because, again, this is really big. I love the look in the address position. I gotta tell you, I like glossy black crowns. I know that when they get dinged up, it can drag your eye to wherever the ding is, and matte black crowns have become very fashionable over the last few years. I love the black crown here. You can see the carbon fiber relatively clearly, but there are very few visual distractions. So I think in the address position, this thing is great. For me, the sound, the feel of the moment of impact, everything was good. And again, working with a good custom fitter, I was able to find a Qi10 Max that would certainly work for me. And just the idea of having the highest MOI, the most forgiving driver that TaylorMade has ever made for recreational golfers, I think that's going to be confidence inspiring. You know you're swinging the most forgiving driver from one of the most popular driver brands out there. So if there is a driver that will help you hit straighter shots, if there is a driver out there that would help to protect ball speed on miss hits, this is probably going to be one of the drivers that you would want to look at. So if you're in the market for a new driver and you're somebody who struggles to hit fairways, if you're somebody who, again, shoots probably in the mid 80s or higher, I think you're going to want to probably talk to a good custom fitter and see if the Qi10 Max is going to be a right fit for you. So that's the TaylorMade Qi10 Max driver. I will have videos coming out relatively soon on the other Qi10 drivers. Let me know what you think in the comment area below. It would be great if you would like this video as well as subscribe to my channel. And if you can, hit the bell button, because we're in the middle of release season, and that will give you a notification when I've got new videos coming out. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of videos in the first quarter of 2024. You are definitely not going to want to miss it. We've got stuff, big name, high profile companies with major releases that are coming. You do not want to miss it. So thanks very much for joining me, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon.